You're next. Every year, one family on my street goes missing the week before Christmas. Not moves away, not goes on vacation. Missing. The first time I was 10, the Smiths at the top of the road didn't show up for the school carol night. Their lights were still on, their tree was still blinking in the window, and their car was in the driveway. The next morning, the lights were off, curtains closed, mail piling up, police, tape, questions, no answers. Year 2, it was the couple in blue house. Year 3, the family with a loud baby. Year 4, the guy who handed out full-size chocolate bars at Halloween. Everyone called it a coincidence until about year 5. Then it became a joke about people were only half joking. December again, the guy at the corner store would say, "Time to see who the street eats this year." Kids yelled, "You're next," for fun when we played outside. Then, when sirens actually showed up days later, we still hung lights, we still had barbecues, we still pretended the math wasn't real. One street, one family gone every year. My parents called it bad luck. That isn't our business. I called it what it felt like. A pattern. 3 days after Christmas this year, I came home from school and saw a piece of paper flapping on our front door. Plain white, black marker. "You're next," with a Christmas tree. My brain did a weird thing where it tried to decide if I should laugh or piss myself. I peeled it off with numb fingers and walked inside. "Mom," I called. "Dad." They were both in the kitchen. Mom was making something that smelled like cinnamon and stress. Dad was pretending to read the news on his tablet. "What's wrong?" my mom asked immediately. I just held up a paper. The color drained from her face like someone pulled a plug. My dad's eyes went hard. "Who did that?" he snapped. "I don't know," I said. "Maybe one of the kids. Or some idiot trying to be funny." He snatched the page, turned it over, turned it back, nothing else on it. He slammed instinct mode on. That night, he installed a second deadbolt. The next day, we had 2 new security cameras, one facing the driveway, one the front steps, motion sensors, alerts on his phone. "We're not next," he said, like he was giving the universe a direct order. "We're not idiots. We're not helpless. We're not next." My mom made us stand in the living room and repeat it like some kind of prayer. "We are not next," we chanted. "We are not next. We are not next. We are not next." It didn't feel true. The first night after the note, my dad set the cameras to record and checked them every hour like a man obsessed. The next morning, we all stood around his laptop and watched the footage. Snow drifting lazily, headlights passing, the mailman, the neighbor's cat, some kid cutting across the lawn. No person walked up to our door. No hand appeared with a note. "It must have been before I set them up," my dad said. But the timestamp on the recordings said otherwise. The gap where the note should have appeared between me leaving and me coming back was there, just empty. I tried to shake it off. At school, my friends kept buzzing my phone. "Is it true? You got the note? Send pic." I sent the picture. One of them replied, "If I lived on your street, I'd move. FR. For real." Another, It's some cop or something trying to scare people into staying home. LOL. The numbing part was how normal the rest of my day was. Math, cafeteria, pizza, stupid gossip, as if I didn't have any sentence taped to my door, telling me my family had finally been picked. A second night, it snowed hard. The whole street went soft and quiet. Under it was Christmas lights. Looked like they were floating in fog. Around 2 a.m., I woke up for no reason. The house was silent. No TV, no talking, just the weird winter quiet. Then I heard it. A floorboard cracked in the hallway, too heavy to be the house, just as old pipes. Too deliberate. Creak, pause, creak, pause, creak. I held my breath. Dad, I whispered. Nothing. I threw my legs over the side of the bed and stood up. Which is probably stupid, but heart banging so loud it felt like it might wake the whole neighborhood. I opened my door. A crack. The hallway was dark, flooded with this faint gray light from the snow outside. No one was there. I was about to close the door and gaslight myself into believing I'd imagine it when I looked down. 2 wet prints on the carpet. Bare feet pointing towards my room. The prints weren't ours. We all wear socks and slippers inside. These toes were too long. The footprint itself was wrong. Somehow, the arc too high. The ball of the foot too smeared, like the weight had dragged instead of stepped. They stopped right at my doorway. Right where I was standing, my body did that cold, sick drop, like when you miss a stare. I shut my door and shoved my dresser against it, scrambling, my hands shaking so hard I could barely grip the wood. I sat awake until the sky went from black to dull gray. In the morning, the prints were gone, the carpet looked untouched. We checked the cameras again. Every minute was accounted for except between 2 and 3 a.m. An empty gap, no files, no feed, just static. Dad cursed so loudly my mom flinched. He called tech support and yelled until they offered him a replacement, then hung up on them. It's a glitch, he snapped at me, like I'd argued. Technology fails all the time. Every December, I asked quietly, he slapped the counter. Enough! The family that went missing that year lived 2 houses down. We heard the screaming first. Not moving screaming, not playful screaming, real animal panic. It's clawed down the street and right under our skin. By the time Dad opened the curtains, the screaming had stopped. The lights in their house flickered, then went dark. An inflatable Santa in their yard slowly deflated, its facing fold on in itself. Red and blue lights stained the snow. A while later, we watched from behind the curtains like everyone else. 2 stretchers, both covered. No kids. My mom gripped my arm so hard I bruised. There were 2 children in the house. She whispered, "Where are the children?" No one brought them out. The police did their door-to-door thing. Same questions, same clipped reassurance. They took our DVR because Dad insisted. Some left a note on our door. My mom said, "I said we were next." The officer nodded and wrote it down like it was just another line on his list. When we closed the door after they left, there was another piece of paper on the floor. Must have been slipped through the mail slot while we were distracted. Same cheap printer paper, same marker. You were late. Christmas tree. My father crushed it in his fist and threw it away. I pulled it back out later when no one was looking. There were tiny red dots along the edge of the letters where the paper had torn. I wish I could tell you I was sure it was ink, but I think it was blood. That night, my parents made me drag my mattress into the living room. We sleep together, my mom said. We don't separate. Dad pushed the couch against the front door on top of both locks. Like that would stop whatever had left wet footprints in our hallway. Lights stay on, he added, insisting. We lay there pretending to watch some Christmas movie while my brain chewed on itself. Around 11:13, my mom started nodding off. Around midnight, even Dad's eyes were closing. Outside, the neighbors slowly went to bed. It was quiet. One by one, the other house lights clicked off. The projector next door, the blue lights across the road, the reindeer in the yard, until finally only ours were left. We're basically a lighthouse, I said. If anything's out there, it knows exactly where we are. No one is out there, my dad said. And then something hit the door. Not a polite knock, not a flat thump, like a shoulder or a fist connecting with wood. The couch shuddered. All three of us sat up at the same time. The second hit was harder. The door frame creaked. I could hear my own pulse in my ears. Don't move, my dad whispered. Something dragged slowly across the door. Long, scratching sound over the wood, up and down, back and forth, right over the locks like nails being tested along the grain. Then I heard it breathe. Not normal breathing, wet, thick, like air was passing through a chest full of liquid. When it spoke, its voice seeped through the wood like cold. Open up, it crooned. It's cold out here. If I ever hear that tone again in any voice, I will vomit on spot. It sounded amused, patient. Do not answer it, my mom hissed. We are not next, my dad whispered like a spell. We are not next. We are not next. We are not next. It sounded like he was going crazy. Thing outside laughed softly. You keep saying that, it muttered, but I got a note. My mouth went dry. I don't know what possessed me, but I spoke. What do you want? I called, my voice shaking. You already took them, the family down the street. Isn't that enough? Silence. Then a delight little hum. Oh, it said, you can hear me. That's nice. The last one just screamed. My skin crawled. This isn't random, it went on. You know that, right? The street was built on a promise. One house a year, one family into the dark, so the others can sleep a little easier. Tradition, you know? We never promised anything, I shot back. We didn't agree to that. Haven't you? It said. There was something like a smile in its voice. You hang your lights. You watch the ambulances. You whisper, thank God it wasn't us. Go back to your dinners. You never warn the new families. You never leave. That's consent, where I came from. It wasn't wrong. We had watched 7 years of disappearance. and done nothing but lock our own doors. I felt sick. Please, my mom suddenly choked. Take me, please take me, and leave my children. My head snapped towards her. Mom, what are you doing? Tears rolled down her face. If it needs a family, can take my part. Count us as paid. Take me instead of them. One thing on the other side of the door made a noise, like someone inhaled through broken tears. Oh, it purred. A volunteer. You people are always so dramatic when it's finally your turn. No, my dad said hoarsely. No one is going anywhere. We're not next. Then take me, I heard myself say. Words flew out before I could grab them. Take me and leave them alone. My father stared at me, my mother's hand clapped around my wrist. The voice outside the door made this delighted buzzing sound. 2 offers. How generous, it said. The cows jumped as someone pressed against the door. You think I haven't heard that before? It asked. Every family gets brave when they hear me up close. Take me, not them. Barge in with me. It's cute. Very cutesy. Nails, or whatever it had, traced the outline of the peephole. I'm not here to negotiate. I'm here to collect. The scratching shifted, moving along the wall towards the side window basement. Dad hissed, now. We stumbled in the dark, tripping over blankets and each other. The air felt thick, like we were breathing soap. We tumbled into the basement and Dad slammed the door, locking it. As if that mattered to something that can erase camera footage. The basement was colder than upstairs, concrete walls, sweating in the corners. Dad flicked his flashlight around and froze. Dad, I whispered, what is it? Nothing, he said too quickly, but I'd seen it too. Chalk marks, dozens of them, low on the wall, near the floor. At first, I thought they were just kid graffiti. Then I saw they were names. Some I recognized, old neighbors, families who had moved away in years before the disappearances started being called disappearances. Some were scratched so hard the concrete had chipped out. Some were circled, different handwritings, different pressure, the very bottom and fresh sharp white chalk. 3 new names, Mom, Dad, me. Under that, in the same jack marker style as the notes on our door, you're late. Nice spine, wet ice cold. Did you rate those? I asked my dad. He shook his head. Eyes huge, of course not. Above us, footsteps started again. This time it wasn't pacing, it was coming straight towards the basement door. My mom started to pray. Dad swung the flashlight up like he was going to hit something from the beam. Footsteps reached the door and stopped. The door handle turned. The lock clicked. Slow and gentle. The door opened about an inch, then another, wood whining softly. What came down those stairs? I don't have the words to describe properly. I could tell you about the smell, wet earth, mold, and something metallic like old pennies. I couldn't tell you. Its fingers were too long and too many. How, as it moved, pieces of it looked like faces. I recognized neighbors, the Smiths, the family from last year, like it was trying them on. I could tell you that. When it smiled, its teeth looked exactly like a raw white Christmas light. What matters is it looked at us, really looked, it said, brave little house. I couldn't speak, my dad couldn't breathe, my mom pressed my hand so hard into hers. My knuckles popped. I think I'll do something special with you. Its head tilted, almost fond. You three get to stay. I think I said, "What?" out loud. That doesn't mean you're safe. It said, amused. It means you're useful. Fear tastes better when it ripens. And every street needs one normal family to keep the story believable. I don't understand then. I do now. Well, go on, it muttered. Year after year, one house a season, one family at a time, and you'll still be here, lights off, curtains half open, watching, saying nothing, being the proof that nothing's wrong with the Maple Ridge at all. It leaned in so close I could feel its breath, cold, damp, on my face, smelled disgusting. You're not next, it whispered. You're the ones who stay. Then it straightened up, creaking like old boards. It walked back up the stairs, humming a Christmas tune. Absolutely off-key. The door swung shut, the lock clicked, the footsteps moved away. We stayed in the basement until the first gray light of the morning seeped in through tiny windows near the ceiling. When we finally went upstairs, everything looked normal. Couch, TV, front door, except for 3 long dark scratches on the inside of the wood, right at eye level. That was 3 years ago. We're still here. New families move in. They string lights. They wave. They don't know why houses are cheaper on our street. Every December, one of those houses goes dark. Police cars, tape, news crews, same interviews, the same sentences. It's tragic. We had no idea. It's mystery. We make food and take it to the vigils. We say how sorry we are. We tell ourselves that this year we'll move. This year we'll warn someone. We never do. We're still useful. We never got another no. We don't need one. We know exactly where we stand. We are not next. We're worst. We're the ones the Maple Ridge keeps. If this voice were yours on a video, people would probably comment fake or this sound like a movie. But when you go to bed tonight and look at your own street and see one house with lights off and the curtains just slightly open, ask yourself, are they safe? Or have they already heard something breathing against their door in December? And agreed silently, desperately, not to be next.